Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. And today guys, I thought I would show off my bootleg Blu-ray collection. I've actually got quite a few in the collection thanks to a very generous subscriber that actually made these for me about a year and a half ago. He sent them to me, and when I opened the box, I did it in a subscriber unboxing. Like, I was just floored at the movies that he sent me with these Blu-ray home-brewed Blu-ray scans that he made. That I've actually checked out a number of these since he sent them to me, so I'll talk about that as I go through them. But they look good. I mean, they honestly look good. They look like actual HD presentations of those movies. So I'm very thankful that he sent those. Don't ask me any questions about who sent them. He's anonymous. He doesn't want his name out there. He doesn't do this for a living. He doesn't have a business. I know there's other sites like Sloppy Seconds and stuff like that does this. And I don't know if any of these are from those sites. I think he might have said that a few of them are, but I think he actually made most of these. So, and I don't know anything about that. I don't even know how to do that. So I'm going through my bootleg Blu-ray collection because I'm doing a lot of reorganizing, guys. If you noticed at the mess on the floor in the back, I've got movies on the floor. You should see the other side of the room. There's just crap all over the place. I recently rebuilt a shelf, or built a shelf. So yeah, we're trying to fix this room up, and I've got a lot of reorganizing to do. But I had my bootleg Blu-rays in with the regular collection of Blu-rays back there since I got them a year and a half ago, or since the last time I reorganized. And my thought process was, okay, I'm going to slot these here. And then as, Blu-rays of these movies come out, which a few of them have gotten actual Blu-ray and 4K releases since I've gotten these bootleg Blu-rays, and I'll show those off as we go through them. I was going to take it out, and then I was going to slot in the official Blu-ray or 4K release in its spot. That was the idea. But I don't want to mix these in with all my regular stuff anymore. I want to keep them separate. So I kind of put these all together separately on the floor over there. And I'm like, you know what? It's been a while. When I showed these off initially, they were in an unboxing. So I didn't really, show them off in like a actual official video or actual advertised video that, hey, I'm showing off my bootleg Blu-ray collection. So there may be some of you all that don't even know that I have these in the collection, but I'm very thankful to have the ones that I do, because some of these may never get a Blu-ray, guys. Some of these may never get a Blu-ray, and it's very sad. I hope that all of them do. I hope that they all get special editions or something, and like I said, some of them have, but some of them may never get the treatment. And my whole thought on the bootleg thing, I did a whole video on this last year, my thoughts on bootleg Blu-rays. In a nutshell, guys, if the studios aren't willing to put this stuff out, I don't see anything wrong with taking matters into our own hands and securing our copies ourselves in our collection and having them physically. I don't see anything wrong with that if the studios aren't going to do it. Now, if the studios do it and we still bootleg it because we want to pay a little bit less, I think that's wrong. That is definitely wrong. If you have the option to buy it physically, buy it from the studio, buy it officially. But if there's no option, to hell with it. It's the wild west. Get your movies on physical media, because a lot of these are just, very hard to find. Now, I did say, guys, when I first got these, if I get official versions, I will replace them. I'll go ahead and say this right now. I haven't replaced all of these yet that have gotten Blu-ray releases, but I will. I will at some point. Definitely, I will at some point. But before we get into it, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We talk about physical media on this channel, Blu-rays, 4Ks, owning the movies that you love, all that stuff there behind me, and it's fun. We have fun around here, guys. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's show off my bootleg Blu-ray collection. How many do I have here? I can guarantee you I've got maybe 40 or 50 titles here. Like I said, very fortunate to have these. Let's talk about Stakeout. So this is one that I hear referenced very often with people wanting. So I actually haven't seen this movie. This has Richard Dreyfuss and Emilio Estevez. I should actually watch it tonight. And I say that all the time. I'll want to watch a lot of these. Some of these I haven't seen, but a lot of these are ones that people have been wanting for a long time. And he actually put disc art on a lot of these. So that's pretty damn cool. But look, they're not official, guys, but they look kind of official. Like, they don't look bad at all. Like, I wasn't embarrassed to have them in the collection at all. But yeah, Stakeout, Richard Dreyfuss, Emilio Estevez, definitely need to check that out. I actually have the sequel back there in the collection on Blu-ray, but I guess they never did the first one on Blu-ray for whatever reason. Let me set that over there. This is one that's very close to my heart. I love this movie, The Stupids. It's a stupid movie, guys, but it came out at just the right age. When did this movie came out? Did this have does this have a date on the back here? I think it had to be like mid-90s, like 95, 96, somewhere around there. I was 10 when this came out, or I feel like or 11, somewhere around there when I first saw this. But I love this movie. I watched it all the time. It was so freaking dumb, but I just laughed my ass off every time I watched it. And it doesn't have a Blu-ray release. Maybe it has a DVD. I'm not sure, but this is actually a Warner Brothers title, I know, and we just got Money Talks and Joe's Apartment, which, speaking of Joe's Apartment, I'll go ahead and show it off. I have that also in the collection on Blu-ray, but this does have a Warner Archive release, which I will get at some point. I will get an official version because it's definitely going to look better than this bootleg, I'm sure. But, you know, and Joe's Apartment, I love this movie as well. But The Stupids, I'm hoping gets a Warner Archive release as well because I feel like it would fit right in that collection. And we just got Money Talks and Joe's Apartment, and I think The Stupids would be a good candidate for Warner Archive. So if anybody at Warner Archive or Warner Brothers is watching, put The Stupids out on Blu-ray. Somebody back me up in the comment section as well. This one is just so egregious that we do not have this on Blu-ray. Like, this is a classic Tom Hanks movie from 1984. And that is Splash. Of course, we need a good physical version of this because to keep Disney from editing out Daryl Hannah's butt, you know, we need Daryl Hannah butt in its full glory on physical media. This one, honestly, like, I hope that Sony, what was this? A Touchstone Pictures? Touchstone Pictures. So I hope that Sony does some kind of like, it would be awesome if they did like a Touchstone Pictures box set, like with the Columbia Classics. But I would really love it. They really have their work cut out for them. Like, they really do. I just did a video talking about the Fox movies that I want to come to 4K. They've got a lot of Touchstone, a lot of Hollywood Pictures stuff they could do as well. But Splash, like, this is such a good movie. I watched this for the first time just like 3 or 4 years ago, but I absolutely loved it. It's so good. And it needs a 4K, like, honestly, like, but it doesn't even have a Blu-ray. It's still stuck on DVD, but I have a Blu-ray, this nice bootleg Blu-ray with the cool artwork in it. And let me look on the back real quick. I was trying to see if this had any, it says special features on the back, but it doesn't really have any special features. This also has John Candy in it. And it's probably my favorite John Candy. It's probably my favorite John Candy performance. The scene where he's talking Swedish when they're trying to break into that research facility. Hey, Raling, it's Fointas von Tom's penis. It's such a great scene. I love it. 6 Days, 7 Nights I have in the collection on Blu-ray. Another great movie from my childhood. I remember seeing this movie at the drive-in movie theater. And of course, Anne Hayes, she died tragically, I think a couple of years ago in a car wreck. Which was very sad. But this is a good movie. I enjoyed watching this one a lot. It has Ross from Friends in it as well. And just a fun adventure movie, kind of in the same vein as Romancing the Stone, I feel like. But this one needs a Blu-ray, and honestly needs a 4K because with the tropical setting, it would look great. And nice artwork on the disc as well. I feel like I should show that off. So definitely happy to have that. This one is not a classic Tom Hanks movie. This is Pinocchio. This is a Disney Plus streaming movie that they should put out on physical. Like, why would they not want the money? Some people, the Disney collectors would at least buy this. They didn't put Lady and the Tramp out on Blu-ray either. But Pinocchio, I haven't seen this one. I didn't hear the best things about it. It's a Robert Zemeckis movie, so I guess I'm glad to have it on physical media. Panic Room. I've got Panic Room on Blu-ray. This was supposed to come to 4K. It was all set to come to 4K from Paramount, and then all of a sudden at the last minute, they pulled the plug. We don't know what the hell happened to it. Same happened with From Dusk Till Dawn. We don't know what happened to that movie either, but hopefully we get an update on Panic Room. Was never released beyond DVD. This is a David Fincher movie, so it 100% needs a 4K or at least a Blu-ray release, but I do have it in the collection, so I'm happy to have that. We've got Goldie Hawn and Private Benjamin, so this is one that I have not seen, but I've heard some good things about, so I need to check this one out sooner rather than later. Nice discard on that as well. And I don't know what studio put this one out. It looks like Warner Brothers. This would be a good Warner archive as well, I feel like. Or maybe they could license it to Criterion. That might make a good Criterion. Other People's Money. Some of these movies I have never heard of. I've honestly never heard of this movie, but it's got Danny DeVito in it, so that's definitely pretty cool. But yeah, I want to watch this. I need to check this out at some point. Other People's Money with Danny DeVito. This is a classic. I think he made this one for me because I mentioned it in my video and I kept mentioning it over and over again. And that is Nothing to Lose with Tim Robbins and Martin Lawrence. I freaking loved this movie when I was a kid. I watched it over and over again. Absolutely love this movie. This movie and Money Talks, like I just remember watching all the time. I loved it. I love both those movies. So I'm glad to see that get a physical, but we need the Nothing to Lose physical, a Blu-ray version of that. Who put this out? Touchstone. So this would have to be Sony would have to put this one out, but such a funny comedy. Pretty much any comedy with Martin Lawrence in the 90s and even the early 2000s is gold. Like, it's absolute comic gold. Like, I feel like Martin Lawrence, he took the I feel like he took the torch from Eddie Murphy. Like, I feel like it's the same kind of like just fast paced, like very charismatic, comedic timing and humor. I feel like Martin Lawrence, he just feels a lot like Eddie Murphy to me. But I love both of them so much. They're both so funny. And Martin Lawrence to me, like, he's just one of the goats of comedy. Like, I just love him so much. And I wish he was still like doing comedy because he could still go. Like the recent Bad Boys movie he was insanely funny in that movie. I love that movie. But Martin Lawrence is great. Tim Robbins also great. Nothing to Lose, fantastic if you haven't seen it. This is a movie with Michael Keaton in it, Johnny Dangerously. I will admit I have not seen this movie, but it definitely looks pretty cool. Good cast in this one. You got Joe Piscopo, Danny DeVito, and I need to check this one out. Like I said, I got a lot of good movies. A lot of good movies here that I have not seen yet. But this one I've definitely seen, and this is another childhood favorite. God, I love this movie. The Beverly Hillbillies, of course, based off of the classic TV show. This one's so good. Ernest is Jim Varney is the dad in this one, and he's so good. Like this, I feel like this is the only other Jim Varney movie that I ever saw besides Ernest. I don't know if he acted in too many other movies or not, but he's so good in this movie. The guy from I don't remember his name, but the Drew Carey Show. I remember watching him on that. He was also in Napoleon Dynamite. He's been in, Office Space, Los Colitas. I'm doing the new drywall at the new McDonald's. He shows up in a lot of stuff, but he's definitely really good. The lady that plays the grandma is super funny in this, and I just love this movie so much. Ellie Mae, the girl that plays Ellie Mae, I remember having a big crush on her when I was a kid. But such a good movie. I love the Beverly Hillbillies. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Who did this one? Was this Disney as well? Probably, I would say. Yeah, Fox, I think it says at the bottom. So yeah, do that one on 4K. Give it a 4K box set for crying out loud. I love that movie. Let me take a drink of water real quick, guys. My throat's getting very dry. I may cut this out. I may not. All right, let's talk about The Beautician and the Beast with Fran Drescher, who, of course, just went to war for the actors recently, which I didn't even know she was the leader of the Actors Guild until that strike started. But before that, she was in a movie called Beautician and the Beast. And to be completely honest, I did used to watch The Nanny. I don't know if I've seen this one. I feel like maybe I've seen parts of it, but I feel like growing up, like I was like, ooh, girl movie. I don't want to watch that. I feel like my sister was watching this and I didn't want any part of it. But maybe I'll watch it now and I'll enjoy it. Nice to have a Blu-ray release of that. This one does have a Blu-ray, a ViaVision Blu-ray release. I almost got it, but I didn't. I need to get it. If it comes out on Blu-ray in the States, I'll definitely get it. But Four Rooms is so freaking awesome. I love this movie. Like I said, as a kid growing up, I watched this movie all the time. I feel like we had a VHS of it, but great cast. Tim Robbins is the lead in this one. It's basically an anthology movie because he's going to these different rooms. He's a bellhop and he's going to these different rooms and he's getting roped in all this like crazy, insane stuff. And each room is like its own story. And eventually the last room is Quentin Tarantino. Kind of, I wouldn't say a cameo, but he's starring in the last room story. And that one's really insane. But the one with Antonio Banderas, Did They Misbehave? That's a good one as well. Madonna playing a witch, I think in the first one, is also very good. But yeah, is that Marissa Tomei in this movie? I think it is. I need to rewatch this one. It's been a long time, but I loved this movie when I was a kid. Four Rooms. Classic right here, guys. Classic right here. We need a Vinegar Syndrome VSU big chunky box set release of this on 4K, of course. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Why do we not have this? I think this one I think it's some kind of weird rights thing. It even says Warner Archive on the back, which is, I don't want a Warner Archive for this. I want a big premium chunky box set for Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I am that greedy. But this was an HBO movie, I think, which is also, I think, went into Warner Brothers. So I think Warner Brothers has the rights to this at this point. I just don't get why they haven't done it. Like, there has to be some kind of rights issues. This was such a big movie, I feel like, a dark comedy from the early 90s. But this is one that I probably watched 150 times. I freaking love Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. It's one of my absolute favorite movies. Christina Applegate, Danielle Harris is in this movie. Keith Coogan. The dishes are done, man. It's so freaking classic. Love Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. This one I actually watched recently, and that is The Animal with Rob Schneider. I watched this one, I think, when I was reorganizing some stuff in here, and I was watching a couple of the bootleg Blu-rays. It looks really good. Like, the quality here is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I feel like I've seen some studios do Blu-rays that looked worse than these, if I'm being completely honest. But why does Rob Schneider get the short end of the stick when it comes to physical media? Because he has none of his movies on Blu-ray. I don't think any Rob Schneider movies are on Blu-ray right now. And The Animal, to be honest, guys, deserves a big chunky VSU. No, it does not. But it does deserve a Blu-ray. It does deserve a Blu-ray. I have a lot of fun with this movie. I think it's awesome, and it's very goofy. I love Norm Macdonald in this movie as one of the torch the torch mob people towards the end. He's so freaking funny. But this is so good. The Animal's fun. I love The Animal. Blank Man, another classic. Like, this stack of movies here just really hit me in my heart when I got it in, because Blank Man is a movie I watched over and over again so much. Such a good movie. And this was before the entire superhero craze hit. We had the Batmans and the Supermans, of course. This was mid 90s, but Damon Wayans and David Alan Grier as this is kind of honestly like Kick-Ass a little bit. Like, there's Kick-Ass has a little bit of Blank Man DNA in it, just regular people putting on some suits and wanting to fight crime and getting roped into some bad stuff. But it's such a fun movie. I love Blank Man. I need to watch this one again. It's been so freaking long, so freaking good though. I love it so much. That one needs a 4K for sure. I would love that to get a 4K. Desperate Measures. This is another Michael Keaton movie. Andy Garcia. Definitely need to check this one out. I need to watch more of Michael Keaton's more like dark thriller movies. I know he's got a few of them, and I haven't seen any of them. Another Rob Schneider classic, The Hot Chick. I need to check this one out. It's been a long time, but I love this movie. It's got, I think, Anna Faris in this movie, Rachel McAdams. It's got a good cast, but it's so freaking good. What are you doing? Tuesday night's gay night. It's so, I love The Hot Chick so much. So freaking funny. Another one that's so freaking funny, guys. Grandma's Boy. Why do we not have Grandma's Boy on Blu-ray? That makes no freaking sense. But Grandma's Boy is a classic comedy from the mid 2000s. It's a Happy Madison film. Back when the Happy Madison name meant something, meant the movie was actually going to be funny. And this was the first one, I think, that didn't star Adam Sandler. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but the first one where he used the guy that was in a lot of his films up until this point, kind of his sidekick. And I actually need to look for the guy's name because I don't know it. Is it Joel David Moore or is it Alan Covert? That's what it is. Alan Covert plays the leading role in this, and I think it was his only movie that he did the leading role in. I don't think he was a lead in any other film after this. He actually did a really good job, though, so I don't know if that was just because he didn't want to do it anymore or what the deal was, but I thought he was great as the lead in this, and it's even got... damn, what is her name? Linda Cardellini's in this from Freaks and Geeks, and of course she's been in a ton of stuff since, but She is so smoking in this movie too. Nick Swartzen, this was kind of his like coming out party, I feel like. So freaking good in this. He's so incredibly funny. Jonah Hill, one of his first movies, like Grandma's Boy, so good. And if you like video games, especially video games of this era, it's about a video game developer. So it gets in a lot of video game technical stuff. So I think if you're a gamer, you will enjoy Grandma's Boy. So, but it doesn't have a Blu-ray, but it still has a DVD floating out there somewhere. Encino Man. God, I love Encino Man. This is another great one from the early 90s that I watched over and over again. I remember, when did this come out? Like, I think this one came out like in 1991 or something. But I remember, guys, I was probably 6 when I saw this. This was one of my like first movie memories, I feel like. I remember being like 6 and I like stripped down to my underwear and I was pretending I was Link in the living room. I was pretending I was like a caveman or something. It's just a very vivid memory that I have. Yeah, Encino Man, that's way too much information, I know. Encino Man, it's a classic. Wheeze in the juice. Like, why do we not have something? Honestly, this video is upsetting me. It's pissing me off. Why do we not have this stuff? And this one's going to piss me off too. Little Giants. Like, what is Warner Brothers doing? This one definitely needs a Warner Archive title. Like, Little Giants is so freaking hilarious. Rick Moranis, Ed O'Neill, like rival football little league teams. Like, it's so good. And I just love it so much. Little Giants needs more love. And I'm so grateful I have these on Blu-ray though. I'm so grateful. Little Nicky just got a Blu-ray release from Scream Factory over the summer, but I do have the bootleg. Have not yet upgraded yet, but I will. I will get this one on Blu-ray at some point, an official version. But I love Little Nicky. It's stupid, but it's super fun. We have Milk Money right here. This one has Melanie Griffith and Ed Harris. I remember watching this one when I was a kid. I don't remember a ton about it, but I do remember it being a pretty good movie that I am surprised doesn't have a Blu-ray. We also have Swing Shift with Goldie Hawn. Haven't seen this one. This one also has Kurt Russell in it. I need to watch this one for sure. Theatrical and never before seen work print director's cut. I will definitely save some of these though hopefully they'll get official versions. I can buy them that way, but I don't know. I may end up watching this one soon. I do love me some Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn. Love Overboard, so I need to watch Swing Shift. We also got Superstar. Sometimes when I get nervous, guys, when I'm filming videos, I put my hands in my armpits and I smell them like that. I love Mary Catherine Gallagher so much. Molly Shannon was such a comedic force in the 90s, guys. I was the biggest SNL fan there was. I watched it all through the 90s, the Farley Sandler era. Then when it transitioned to the Farrell, Molly Shannon, Sherry O'Terry, Chris Kattan, that era I was definitely a part of as well. And that was a skit on SNL made into a movie. Very stupid movie, but very fun. And this is one of Will Ferrell's like first starring roles, 1999, before he really popped off as an actor in movies. But I love Superstar. It's so funny. I need to rewatch that one. I got a lot of movies to watch. Blue Steel I got right here. And this is before it got an official release, which I have right here from the Vestron video line. So I do have the official Blu-ray of Blue Steel, but it did have a bootleg Blu-ray. I watched this one. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I did like it. We also have After Hours, which also, as you can see on the TV back there, does have a Criterion release that got released over the summer. But this one was long awaited. Like, people were waiting for Martin Scorsese's After Hours for the longest time, and they finally got it this past summer. But really good movie, and I love that this has like that. I feel like this is the classic poster art, so that's definitely cool. But After Hours is definitely a really cool movie, and this is a really good 4K from the Criterion Collection. This one, of course, is getting a release very soon, and that is The Abyss. But I do have a bootleg Blu-ray version of The Abyss, just in case Disney and James Cameron never release this on 4K. And I'm having trouble getting them in right now from Amazon, so who knows if I'll actually get it. I may have to rely on this bootleg Blu-ray. But I think this is the only one of my bootlegs that I have 2 discs for, and I think that this one has special features on it. So we got the actual feature, and then we got the special features on this disc, I imagine. So very cool stuff, guys. This one actually seems pretty damn official. Special features and everything on this one. So Very cool. And this one is a 3-pack. We've got Ruthless People, Down and Out in Beverly Hills, and I've heard a lot of people want that, and Outrageous Fortune, all in this 3-pack set right here. And they all have their own discs on the inside. So that's definitely very cool. So there we go. I haven't went through these in such a long time. And again, Danny DeVito, Bette Midler makes me really want to watch these movies. Let me know if you remember the initial unboxing in the comments. I would definitely be interested in that also. And of course, I'm so glad to have these. I remember watching both of these when I was a kid. We got 3 men and a baby. 3 men and a baby, and 3 men and a little lady in a 2-pack. Somebody answer this in the comment section. Of course, I could just look on the internet, but does Look Who's Talking and Look Who's Talking 2 and Look Who's Talking Now, do those have Blu-rays? Because if they don't, we need them immediately. But these movies kind of remind me of those movies. But definitely good movies. I enjoyed these movies when I was a kid, and I'd be excited to rewatch those ones. All right, so this one is another Rob Schneider collection. We got the Deuce Bigalow films, both on Blu-ray in this set. I didn't need European. I could do without that one, but I do love the first Deuce Bigalow movie. Definitely a great Rob Schneider comedy. Son-in-Law. Like, what? Why do we not have a Blu-ray of Son-in-Law? Like, that is so freaking stupid. Who put this out? What was it? This is a Touchstone, it looks like. Or maybe a Hollywood Pictures. But Son-in-Law, guys. This is a great Pauly Shore comedy. Early 90s. Gina. What is her name? God, I'm so horrible with names. I've been talking for so long now. Carla Gugino. Smoking in this movie. Oh my goodness. Which she still looks great. Like she was just in the Fall of the House of Usher. Like she hasn't aged like a bit. But Son-in-Law is so good. And I watched this all the time when I was a kid. Love it. Good Thanksgiving movie too. And I did watch that Blu-ray when I got it. That one and Encino Man. Didn't comment on that. They both looked really good. This one is 6 Weeks. You got Mary Tyler Moore in this. I don't know too much about this one. Dudley Moore and Mary Tyler Moore both in this film. This one I know a lot about. This one a lot of people have been asking for to come to Blu-ray or even 4K at this point for a long time. And that is What About Bob with Bill Murray, Richard Dreyfuss. Classic comedy from the 90s. So freaking funny. Love this movie. If you haven't seen What About Bob, what are you doing with your life? Go watch What About Bob. We need this one on Blu-ray for sure. Not a bootleg, an official version. We also got Madonna in Who's That Girl? So very cool that I have this. I haven't seen enough Madonna movies. I feel like I've only seen A League of Their Own with Madonna. I'm sure she was in some other movies maybe I saw, but that's the only one that's coming to mind. But I know she was in a number of films. I need to watch them. Who's That Girl is one of them. We also got What a Girl Wants with, what is her name? Amanda Bynes. And I don't know if I needed this one on Blu-ray. I think I remember watching this one. It's pretty generic teen rom-com, but you know, Amanda Bynes definitely had her moment in the early 2000s, I feel like. Prey. We've got a bootleg of Prey when people were scared that Disney wasn't going to put it out, but I do have the 4K version right here. Haven't actually checked out the 4K. I need to definitely watch that at some point. But Prey was a good movie. I would be excited to see them do a sequel. I also got, I think this is the Whole Bloody Affair of Kill Bill. So Kill Bill obviously has a Blu-ray, but they sent me the bootleg of the Whole Bloody Affair because that is not on a disc yet. And this is all on one disc as well. So yeah, if I wanted to watch them together, honestly, like I've always been against the Whole Bloody Affair for some reason. I don't know why, but I just like, because I saw Kill Bill Volume 1 in the theaters and I loved it and I felt like it was a complete movie. And then I saw the second one and I felt like it was a complete movie. So I just feel like they're two movies and I don't like this whole thing of making them one. That doesn't make sense to me. I saw them in the theater separately. They're separate movies. That would be like people saying Godfather and Godfather Part 2 are one movie. They're not. They're not one movie. They're two different movies directed by the same director, Francis Ford Coppola. That's just how I feel. But I know some people feel differently. I think they're two movies. Quentin Tarantino came out and said he thinks they're one. So everybody says they're one. But I still say they're two. I don't care what Quentin says. I love you, Quentin, but I don't care what you say. We got Werewolf by Night. This was a series on Disney Plus. I didn't check it out, but I would be down to watch it at some point, maybe. The Hateful Eights. I freaking love The Hateful Eight. This has a Blu-ray. Does not have a 4K. It will look great on 4K. But this is the extended edition. I think this is the one that they put on Netflix, and it was like split into 4 parts. They gave me a bootleg of that version. But I need to watch this. I want to rewatch the movie again because it's been a while and I just love the movie. You got 2 discs right here. Extended version and extended version bonus features. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, The Hateful Eight's a masterpiece. I love that movie. We also have Rocky 4, Rocky versus Drago. And this is the Ultimate Director's Cut, which I believe is in the 4K version. So I do have this one in the collection as well. And we have the, speaking of The Godfather, guys, I guess they did put them together, or somebody did. The Godfather Saga, the complete epic, which I'm guessing puts The Godfather Part 1 and The Godfather Part 2 together in one movie. My only question is, how do you fit that on one freaking disc? That's like 7 hours of movie right there. But yeah, somebody put the Godfather movies together. True Lies. I got a bootleg Blu-ray of True Lies. I've actually got 2 of them. I don't know where the other one is, but True Lies bootleg Blu-ray. Of course, we're getting that on 4K this week. Hopefully I get mine soon. But, if we didn't get it, I was happy to have this Blu-ray. This one, I can see it right there, is actually from Sloppy Seconds. I can see it on the disc art. So there you go. And the last one that I got, this one was actually sent to me. Side Hustle Cinema, if you're watching, me and my wife will watch this at some point because you sent it to us. But we have From, which is a streaming TV show. And he sent this to me. And I believe, yes, this was on Netflix. And I believe this is a bootleg of some kind that he got from a site. But I've heard good things about this show from a variety of people. So I definitely need to check it out. But there you have it, guys. That is my bootleg Blu-ray collection. I didn't mean for this video to go too long, but I am long-winded and I like to talk a lot. And yeah, guys, look, in shorts, I think bootlegs are okay. If the studios don't want to put it out, get it some way. Find some way to get it. I think it's fine. I think it's okay. But if the studio puts it out, if somebody puts it out, an actual official version, support the release, support the movie, support the artist that created it, all that good stuff. And get rid of the bootleg or something. I don't know. Throw it in the trash. Give it to Goodwill. Somebody will find it there and be like, what the hell is this? But there you have it, guys. That's my video. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications. And I'll see you next time.